The Book of Enoch explained? In the Book of Enoch we learn that humans, men and women, were first Negroids. The white folks appeared afterwards on earth. In fact, we learn that the whites were fallen angels. Just as we were told that God, the Ancient of Times, was white as pollen. The indicators of this observation are as follows. The angels came with their magic, their angelic technology, and their biblical knowledge. The angels also bear white names like Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. Negroid men began to bear these names after colonization. How did colonization came about? The Negroid people have seen white angels land on their lands. We considered them as angels precisely because they were white. For the Negroids the white was bright and bring with it all the colors. Blue eyes, blonde and red hair, brown hair, green eyes, and all colors. They are the real people of color. When you have a blue you are in pain, when you are red you are embarrassed, and when you are green you want to vomit. You see? You are multicolored. They did not colonize Ethiopia because Ethiopia was aware of the Book of Enoch. The Ethiopians did not welcome them like us other Negroid peoples welcomed them. We were naive and easily manipulated and seduced. We were like children in the earthly paradise of ancient Africa. And them like cunning and ill-intentioned wolves. Those who call themselves Jews in the Torah have long lived in Egypt. Egypt is Africa. The Jews have long sought their promised land without realizing that they were already living on the continent of the promise in Egypt, which is located in Africa. I learned that the settlers who built the state of Israel in Palestine thought for a moment of establishing the Hebrew state in the center of Africa, more specifically in Uganda. But it turned out to be a failure because Central Africa is black, and so it would have been an abominable abomination to tell the universe that Uganda is their native land. This is also how they occupied South Africa via apartheid. The whites came to South Africa and never left South Africa. I'm not going to do a slavery class, but know that the reason why Enoch's book was banned from the Bible is because it is too revealing, and it puts forward their turpitude. Let us study the Book of Enoch under a new canonical and not apocryptic aspect, as the Ethiopians knew how to do so well by looking at it. Ironically, the name given to Noah in the Book of Enoch means black, while he was born white as wool. He was born white in a black family. So much so that his father Lamech, astonished and amazed, asked his ancestor Enoch if Noah was indeed his child and how is it he is white. From a black mother and a black father, Enoch tells him that Noah was chosen. Like the child Loki in One Piece. Noah the White, whose name means black, reminds me of that of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold is white and his name means black Negro in German. When the Book of Enoch cites the guilty angels, their names remind me of those of the popes. Because the popes also have names with numbers to say what rank they are. I quote, "After that they will be struck with amazement and fear because of the judgment on them, in punishment of the revelations they have made to the inhabitants of the earth." Here are the names of the culprits. The first of them is Samjaza, the second Artakapha, and the third Armin, the fourth Kokabel, the fifth Turiel, the sixth Rumjel, the seventh Danjel, the eighth Nikel, the ninth Barakal, the 10th Azazel, the 11th Armoros, the 12th Batarjel, the 13th Busagel, the 14th Hananel, the 15th Turel, and the 16th Simapesiel, the 17th Jetrel, the 18th Tomiel, the 19th Turel, the 20th Romiel, the 21st Azazel. And all this writes in Roman numerals. So is it a coincidence or the truth? Such are the names of the princes of the guilty angels. The church was never against colonization. On the contrary, it encouraged the colonization of the Negroes. Maybe they saw us as a demon race? But no, they know that we really are the real men. Allah speaks of us as primitives in his undesired Surah 115. We are the first but not primates. Here are now the names of the chiefs of their hundreds, their 50 and 10s. The first name is Yikim. It was the one who seduced all the sons of the holy angels, who pushed them to descend to the earth, to procreate children with human beings. The second's name is Kezebel, who sucked bad thoughts from the sons of the angels, and pushed them to defile their bodies by mating with the daughters of men. And the third was called Gadriel. It was he who showed the children of the men all the death blows, and he lost Eve, and showed the arms of death to the sons of men, the shield and the tunic of mesh, and the sword for the fight, and all the weapons of death for the children of men. And the fourth was called Penemu. He taught the children of men the bitter and the sweet, and he taught them all the secrets of their wisdom. And he taught men to write with ink and paper, and so many have sinned from eternity to eternity and to this day. For men were not created for this purpose, to confirm their good faith by pen and ink. For men were created just like the angels for the purpose that they remain pure and just, and death, which destroys everything, could not have taken hold of them, but it is because of this that their knowledge perishes, and it is because of that that power consumes them. And the fifth was called Castaja. It was the one who showed the children of men all the evil chastisements of spirits and demons, and the chastisements of the embryo in the matrix so that he disappears, and punishments of the soul, the bites of the serpent and the blows which strike by the heat of midday, the son of the serpent named Tabi. When the Book of Enoch speaks of the children of men, know that the men in question are the Negroid people and their descendants who may be Semitic. When the children of the men had multiplied in those days, it happened that girls were born elegant and beautiful. And when the angels, the children of heaven, had seen them, they fell in love with them. And they said to each other, "Let us choose women of the race of men and have children with them." Know that angels can have human appearances, but that does not make them men. When the Book of Enoch speaks of the military powers of the angels, know that it is this knowledge and superiority of the angels that allowed them to dominate us. Azazel taught men to make swords, knives and shields and cuirasses, and let them know the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and the bracelets and the ornaments, and the use of the antimony, and the beautification of the eyelids, and all kinds of precious stones and all coloring dyes. Semjaza taught enchantments and root cuttings, Armoros solving enchantments, Barakijal taught astrology, Kokabel constellations, Ezekiel knowledge of clouds, Arakiel the signs of the earth, Shamsiel the signs of the sun, and Sariel the course of the moon. And as the men perished they cried, and their cry rose to heaven. These are the origins of the Western superpower, and their ancestry over Africa. As for the Chinese, I have a theory that says they come from an angel and reptile mutation. They themselves call themselves the dragon people. On Earth the only dragon that exists is the Komodo dragon. So they would be a mutation between angels and Komodo dragon? The Indians of India could be jinns in view of the magical deities they worship. In any case, white skin is angel skin, and we know that there are several categories of angels, ranging from seraphim, to cherubim, to the thrones, then to dominations, to the virtues and to the powers, then to finish with the archangels and to the angels simply. Just as the sun and the moon pass through 12 portals to the 4 corners of the sky, the portals of paradise are somewhere on the earth. Then addressing me, the Lord spoke to me thus: listening without fear, O just Enoch, O scribe of justice, approach and listen to my voice. Go tell the vigilantes of heaven who sent you to pray for them. You had to pray for men and not men for you. Why did you abandon the holy heights of heaven, your eternal home, to go and soil yourself with women? Why did you fall in love with the daughters of men and made your wives of them? Have you practiced with them the works of the children of the earth, and gave birth to an ungodly race? You who were heavenly spirits, in possession of holiness, of eternal life, you have stained yourself with women, you worked for the works of the flesh, you engendered in the blood, you acted like those which are only of blood and flesh. They were created to die. This is why I gave them women, so that they cohabit with them, that they beget children who perpetuate their race on earth. But you were created pure spirits from the beginning, you possessed an eternal life and you were not subject to death. So I didn't give you women because, pure spirit, you had to live in heaven. Basically the angels were to serve men. The fallen angels were to pray for men and not the other way around. Unfortunately it was the Negro who was enslaved and not the white. After that, my mind flew into the heavens. I saw the sons of holy angels walking on a ardent. Their clothes were white and their faces transparent like crystal. I saw 2 rivers of shining fire like the hyacinth. So I bowed down to the Lord of spirits. And Michael, one of the archangels, taken by the hand, lifted me up, and led me into the mysterious sanctuary of clemency and justice. He showed me all the things hidden from the limits of the sky, the receptacles of the stars, the luminous rays, which will illuminate the faces of the saints. And he hid Enoch's spirit in the heavens of heaven. There, I saw in the middle of the light a building built with crystal stones. And in the midst of these stones, the tongues of a living fire. My mind saw a circle, which surrounded the dwelling, inflamed on all 4 sides, and the rivers of fire surrounding it. Seraphim, cherubim and Ophanim stood all around. They never sleep, but they keep the throne of glory. And I saw countless angels, thousands of thousands, myriads of myriads, that surrounded this house. And Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and Phanuel, and the holy angels who are above the heavens, enter and leave this house. And they came out of this house, as well as Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel, and many unnumbered holy angels. And with them the Ancient of Days, with his white head and pure like wool, and his indescribable garment. And I fell on my face, and my whole body relaxed, and my mind was transfigured, and I cried in a loud voice, with the spirit of power, and blessed, glorified and exalted. And those blessings that came out of my mouth were very pleasing to the Ancient of Days. And God came with Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel, thousands and tens of thousands of angels without number. Enoch asked one of the angels about the Son of Man that he was. And the angel came to him and greeted him with his voice and said to him, "You are the Son of Man who was born for justice, and righteousness dwells upon you, and the justice of God will not abandon you. When you die, sinners will say of you, the righteous therefore die like us." What fruits did they get from their works? Here they leave life in the same way as us, in trouble and in anxiety. How are they treated better than us? So we are equal? What will they have, what will they see more than us? Behold, they are dead and they will never see the light again. But I tell you, O sinners, you have satiated yourself with flesh and drink, spoils of your brothers, plunder, sins of all kinds, nothing cost you to acquire wealth. Your days have been days of joy and bliss. But haven't you seen the end of the righteous, how it is accompanied by peace and calm? It is because they did not know iniquity until the day of their death. They are dead, and they are as if they had never been, and their souls descended to the abode of death.